Hello everyone. So in this video we are going to solve the question in the worksheet 2. In the first question we have an IPO chart and an algorithm written in it. In this IPO chart we have as input quantity sold, item cost and item selling price. The processing is the price and the cost difference, which means we subtract the price from the cost difference and the profit will be equal to the calculation from here times the quantity. So the price minus difference times quantity. Now let's get started. First step in this first part of this question is to manually desk sheet using two sets of input. First set we have 100, 5 and 8. 100 for the quantity, 5 for the cost and 8 for the selling price. Let's try to do the calculation. Okay, so now let's use the pen. So we have the C, no, not this, sorry. So let's say we have C equal, the cost equal to 5, the quantity Q, sorry for the bad handwriting, equal to 100, and we have the selling, let's call it S equal to 8. Now the processing, let's call it P should be equal to S selling price minus C the cost, which mean 8 minus 5, which would be in our case first example 3. Now the profit will be the P times the quantity, which mean so profit PR, let's call it, equal P times quantity, which means 3 times 100 equals 300. So this is the first set of input. Now let's try to do the second set of input. We have as quantity Q equals 650. We have the cost equals C equal to 0.5, and we have the selling S equal to 3.75. Now let's go to the processing. P equal 3.75 minus 2.5, which mean will be equal to 1.25. Now again, this total, the P times the quantity should be equal to our profit here. So we do the profit PR equal 650 times 1.25 should be equal to 812.5. This is about the first part of this question. So now about the second part of our question. How would you modify the IPO chart to display the difference between the item cost and item selling? So we need to display here the item cost and the item cost and the selling price. We can add for the output, so item cost C, for example, and as selling price to display the cost and selling price. And here we don't need anymore the price and cost difference because we have them, we are displaying them as output, and we put it first. Then the second, after putting the cost and the selling price, we do the calculation and we display the profit here down. So we need to modify our algorithm, displaying the profit and the cost and selling price. Also we need here so the calculation. So this is it for the part 2 in the question. How would you modify IPO chart to eliminate the use of processing item? So to eliminate the use of processing item, the calculation process, which is here, we need to remove it. We need to remove it, and then here we type none, so we don't have any processing at this level instead of price and cost difference. So what did we do in step 2 and 3? In step 2, we modified the IPO chart so we can display the cost and the selling price here. We do the calculation, then we display the profit. In the third part, we modified the IPO chart so we won't have anything in the processing. We removed the calculation. We kept it until the end, and we wrote in the processing none. So we don't have anything to do in the P level for the third part of this IPO chart. Now moving on for the second question, I will leave it for you to solve it because as we said, writing an algorithm is a step-by-step instruction and it can differ from one and another. However, I will give you some tips to work on this question. So here, let's read the paragraph together. First, the question: we need to write an algorithm for the manager of Jericho Bakery. Jericho sells a variety of donuts and muffins, 0.5 for each, $half for each. The manager of bakery wants a program to calculate and display the total number of items. Okay, so now we have the selling price is equal to 0.5, and we need a program to calculate and display total item of total item sold. So total sold, for example, equal question mark. How to find the total sold? We need to uh, identify a counter that counts all the purchase number, which means, for example, me, I bought 3 donuts, 3D, and 2M. The counter should increase to 5. Another customer bought, for example, 2D and 7M, D donuts and muffins. So here the counter should be, of the counter should not be 5, should be neither 5 nor 9, should be 5 plus 9, which will be 14. This is how we find the total number of items sold per day. And as for the total cost for each order, it will be here 5 and here, for example, 9. So organize the idea, write simple paragraph if you want, or bullet points to write the good algorithm for this program. This is will be your challenge. I'm sure you can do it. About the third question, so it's simply uh, desk check. Okay, the algorithm below suggested amount of weight. This checks the algorithm twice. We have two sets of input. First set is 102.5 and 5.8. So the restaurant bill, for example, here B equal 1 point. Sorry again. So undo. So 102.5. This is the bill, and 5.8 will be our sales tax. Bill before sale tax. So if we read the algorithm, calculate the bill before sale tax by subtracting the sale tax from the restaurant bill. Which mean here we need to subtract the both, which mean here it will be, let's open our calculator. So here it will be 1, again, sorry. Okay, 102.5 minus 5.8, which will be 76. 96, sorry, 96.7. Again. So now third step, calculate the 10% tip by multiplying the bill before sale tax by 10%. So we need to multiply this number by first 10%, which is 0.1, and it will give us 9.67. So this is for part 3. For part 4, so for part 4 we need to multiply it by 15%. So I have my calculator now. Let's do it. 97.7 times 15%, which will be 14.5. And now we need to multiply it by 20%, which will be 19.34. Display the 10, 15, and 20 tips. So this is the 10. Sorry, again. This is the 10. This is 15, and this is the 20%. You see, this is the output here, and this is for the first set of inputs. Now, for the second set of inputs, you need to do it by yourself. Try to do the same operation as we did, go step by step and display the result as we did on piece of paper, and I'm 100% you will be fine finishing this question. I hope you enjoyed the sheet, solving the worksheet. If you have any question, please don't hesitate to contact me at any time. See you guys, stay safe, and see you around.